call.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
And now the fourth quarterback to play this season for the Badgers is the first quarterback in league play to take a knee as the crowd does the unthinkable and rushes the field.
Beaten down by injury, a fan base weary, a team worn out. On Wisconsin, for Wisconsin, winners once again.
Why was them rushing the field unthinkable? That's what I want to know. I know that it's weird, but was it unthinkable?
I have questions.
You think so? All right, we'll get to them. Good morning, Wisconsin. What's up? Welcome in. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Oh, just a few sports things to cover today from the weekend and a major game here in Green Bay on Monday night. Trevor Thomas live from WNFL. Josh Albrecht, that's him.
Hi.
He's live from WSSP 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. We are also live in Wausau on 93.9 The Game and live in Duluth Superior on 710 The Game. Well. Monday night football in Green Bay tonight. And by the way, fall's over.
Yeah.
We reached the start the car portion of the season.
Yeah. Came quick, didn't it?
Jeez. It felt like fall was 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's how it always goes with fall. That's why I love fall, but it's over in a minute.
Yeah. It takes a second to get here. And then it's here. And then that morning, you're like, crap, we need to scrape my windshield. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get caught up to speed from the weekend. Of course, we'll preview tonight. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks, Thunder. The first thing we do in this show to try to go up, okay, what's going on? Let's set the tone here for all the things we have to talk about today and this Monday. This Packers Monday Night Football edition. Big game tonight. And big names here on the show today to help us preview it. Three major guests on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Mike Spofford from Packers.com joins us at 7:25. I watched Packers preview with him and Wes Hodgkins this morning.
Yeah.
Those dudes are fun.
That was a good time.
It's fun to watch. So we'll chat with him at 7:25. Then at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wade Larrabee, joins us here at 8. And then at 8:25-ish, our guy Matt Schneiderman from The Athletic, and of course, the podcast called The Tundra will join us today as well. All sorts of different angles for this Monday night football game from Lambeau Field. We saw over the weekend there's something called the Parsons Poison Pill.
Yeah.
The hell is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
Have you ever heard of that before?
No, but it made sense. But I was like, the timing of it seemed weird.
Yeah.
What it was weird.
Did you see how it came out? Somebody was looking at trade picks. Draft picks. And what was tradable and what was blocked. And apparently there's some list someplace that shows who's got what pick and if it's available or so on. And there was picks from both the Cowboys and the Packers that were whatever the word is called protected.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, wait a minute. Why are these protected? The Parsons Poison Pill. Peas are terrible to say into a microphone, but I am so glad that that's a Parsons Poison Pill position. What is okay? Never heard of it. Anyway, that's that. The Parsons Poison Pill. Head coach Matt LaFleur's key to the game is consistency. We'll hear from him later in the show.
Consistency.
Yeah. 3 phases of the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Offense, defense, and special teams. And apparently it's a problem. So says Matt LaFleur. We'll check with him later. And also, I have questions and also morning mind dump-ish in regards to what's going on. Who's communicating with whom over there? Is there a kicking competition? Is there not a kicking competition?
I'm actually scheduled to kick.
I honestly believe that.
Yeah. Yep.
We've had our first, well, you should ask the head coach comment.
That's always good.
Now, listen, if they're playing an inside joke on all of us in the media, it's working.
Working very well.
It's wild. We're going to hear that at 7. There's just, I don't know. There are dots that are unconnectable at this time. Brewers, hey, we'll find out today, 6 Central, MLB Network, if our guy Caleb Durbin is the NL Rookie of the Year. He's a finalist. We know this. We talked to him about it last week. It would mean the world to him. I hope he finds out in a different way other than being tagged on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think that would be appropriate.
I don't know how MLB does it. Is it all social? They don't have a show, right? They don't do something like on like MLB Network or
Yeah, no, it's on MLB Network. 6:00 tonight.
Okay.
MLB Network. We'll find out then. He's up against Cade Horton from the Cubs and Drake Baldwin from the Braves. Yep. November 10th, MLB Network, 6 Central. I don't know what type of show it is, but there's something happening there.
Yeah.
Now, does he find out before?
Well, I'm thinking that if it's on TV, maybe it's something like when they announced the March Madness bracket. You know?
Kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, where everyone kind of finds out together and then maybe they cut to him, or after everyone's aware who won. I can see that happening. But I don't know.
There's a camera set up in his parents' living room where he's at?
That'd be awesome. That is just eating spaghetti.
Chilling.
Sorry, it's dinner time. Sorry.
Hey, guys. Thanks.
That's
Cheers.
cool.
Had a good year. Badgers football, not a good year, but they had a good Saturday, and it was good to see. We'll hear from Coach Luke Fickell on all of the things. I give him some credit. In his post-game presser, he came out and said, we will not leave this room until we talk about the things from this week, but let's get this football game out of the way first. That was cool.
Yeah.
He didn't need to do that. There it was. He did it. We'll hear from him. By the way, Badger alum Jonathan Taylor and the Colts.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah. The Colts have been incredible this year. They are a story. We've talked about it. I'd love to talk about it more at a different time, but they are one Super Bowl away from a Disney movie. I'm telling you that.
We have the audio of the call when he broke this 83-yard run. It set a record for him in the longest touchdown run he's had in his career, and it also broke the Colts franchise rushing touchdowns record. By the way, Jonathan Taylor, not old.
No.
But there he was and broke the record with now 66 rushing touchdowns for the Colts. Here's what that sounded like.
They got second and short. That means it's Taylor time, and he's got the first down, and he busts away from the pack for plenty more. Jonathan Taylor, big run. There he goes, and Indianapolis takes the lead. 83 yards, the longest run of his career.
Electric.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
Remember when I told you I was done with fantasy?
Yeah.
I have him.
Oh.
And it's a dynasty league, so I'm second-guessing my decision currently.
To quit?
But, here's my problem with it. Okay, Brock Purdy, starting quarterback for T-Rex's team over here, whatever I call it. We look at the lineup. When I say we, I mean my oldest son, Rhodey, and we see that he's questionable, and he's been questionable for some time and out for some time and all the things. And we go, okay, that looks like there's a chance he might start today. From what we can read, I did not have the ability to recheck said lineup between noon and when he was supposed to play. Guess who didn't play?
There you go. Brock Purdy.
I hate that.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to? Am I just have to be glued to my lineup? That's annoying to me.
The thing is, too many people are when they, you're just watching football for fantasy.
Well, I watched it for Jonathan Taylor, who had a great day for the old fantasy team. You know who didn't have a great day for the old fantasy team? Grandpa Rogers.
Yeah. Yeah, rough one last night for number not 12.
I think he's washed.
Oh, come on.
I think he's washed. He looked old last night, dude. Old. He looked old.
I mean, the whole team, the Steelers looked like crap the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, it was just him.
Well, it was him. I didn't say it was just him, but it was definitely him. He looked old last night. He doesn't miss on those deep throws very often. He was missing a lot last night. And there was one in particular. It was across the middle. It was a deep corner route. He missed it. And I said out loud to my family, that is everyone's fault but Aaron Rodgers. And they cut the camera to him, and he was cussing up a storm.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was at himself.
Well, it's usually not when he's upset like that.
The Bucs went 1-1 over the weekend. What I thought was the first two games of the NBA Cup, but I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you're wrong too.
I don't get it. What am I missing? Friday night was on the new court. Bucks 126, Bulls 110, and you were the one that brought up that new court last week, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked sexy, right? That was good.
All right, so then Sunday comes. Rockets are in town. Old court.
Yeah, back to the regular court.
So do we start the NBA Cup and stop it and start it and stop it?
Yes.
Why?
Because they don't have the NBA Cup be over in like a week.
So then what's the purpose? Like I literally typed in this weekend, what is the purpose of the NBA Cup?
And what did it tell you?
Create excitement.
Well, and it does. It worked.
Why do they start it and then stop it and then start it and then stop it? That's the only tournament I've ever heard of. Hey, we're going to play a tournament, but not the whole time. We're going to stop the tournament and then start the tournament. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, the games are like in group play, and some of them, like not ever, like the game that the Bucks played in the Cup wasn't even the first game of the Cup. It was just the first game for the Bucks. The NBA Cup had started the day before, I believe. Mm-hmm. And so it's all just, I don't know. I don't know why they don't do it all at once, but I know that I remembered from last year, because I thought the same thing when I saw the court. I was like, oh, where's a new? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I bet this isn't a Cup game. And then I went and I looked, and it didn't say NBA Cup game above the little description of the game in the apps. And I was like, yep, there it is. I mean, I'm glad that they won the Cup game if they were going to only win one of those. So I was happy about that.
They got it.
Yeah.
And then the Rockets game, not so much. But I watched both games. You'll be glad and happy to hear. One in review, per se, because I was on the road a lot this weekend. But all right, nonetheless, 1-1 over the weekend and 1-0 in the NBA Cup. Also, speaking of basketball, college basketball is in full swing. Conference play hasn't started yet. There was some good. Wisconsin looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Some bad. Green Bay and Milwaukee didn't exactly look ugly, but man, did Marquette look ugly. Did you catch any college basketball this weekend?
Yeah, a little bit. Mostly, I turned on Marquette for a minute and was like, oh, never mind. Nothing to see here.
Marquette played Indiana. Indiana was 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
I believe the final was 100-77.
Yep, that's correct.
And I texted my son because I was on the road yesterday on the way to and from a funeral back in Jefferson. And I said, what's happening? And he goes, this is what happens when you don't get kids out of the transfer portal. And this is an angry Marquette fan.
Yeah.
Angry 15-year-old Marquette fan. Do you know much about that, Josh, about why Shaka doesn't partake in the portal and all of this NIL with agents and stuff? Because that certainly seems to buck the trend in regards to where college basketball / college athletics is as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't believe in it. It's not his method of building and growing a successful team. I'm looking at that Marquette game as, all right, that was a fluke. Like, that's got to be, maybe they lose, but I don't think if they played them again, they lose by that much. I don't think it's 23 points.
Yeah, I hope not. They got stomped. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks, other. There, you're caught up to speed. Now back to the Packers here. So Monday Night Football in Green Bay. Winter is here. It will not most likely be 30-ish degrees by the time kickoff happens. It's a high of 38 today in Green Bay, last I checked. And when that sun goes down, so too does the temperature, and it happens quick. I saw over the weekend one of the beat writers that works for a radio station actually in Philadelphia said, P.S. It's freezing in Green Bay.
Yeah, that tweet got a lot of run.
Luke Stampy goes, with all due respect, sir.
Yeah.
It's 31 degrees. Child's play.
Right. Oh, you knew before he sent that tweet. Luke was like, he stretched it out. He's like, yeah, baby, here we go. Been waiting for one of these tweets. Here we go.
The rest of the country, when they use the words above, if they say XYZ degrees above, they mean above freezing. In Wisconsin, it's 31 degrees above zero. That's how we gauge whether it's cold or not. Not freezing. That's normal. And 31 in the spring feels warm.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to feel warm tonight.
No. Did you get snow up there?
Yeah, dusting. I mean, flakes. Just a couple 2-tree flakes.
Yeah.
It snowed more in the Northwoods and snowed like a bunch in Door County. And I saw that there was winter weather advisories for the Milwaukee, Kenosha, Racine Lakeshore with the lake effect snow. Did you guys get dumped on down there?
No.
Okay.
No dumping of snow. I mean, kind of the same thing, just a light dusting where I am out here. But I was worried. Because you said, like, hey, before the show on Monday, you have to have your shovel out. You have to be. I was like, don't you dare be saying those words.
That was the problem with lake effect snow is they think it's all right. You're going to get 1 to 15 inches, all the best.
Right. You might get nothing or 2 feet.
Right.
Awesome. Thank
Hard
you.
to forecast off the lake. Did Chicago get dumped on? I feel like there was some serious snow someplace. I just didn't quite see where it landed.
No, Chicago came back and beat the Giants. I was pissed about that. Oh, you're still talking about snow.
Yeah.
Did you see that game though?
No.
Oh, the Giants were up 20-10. They ended up blowing it. Stupid Chicago Bears.
Did the Vikings win?
No, the Vikings lost.
Good.
And then, Detroit ran away with it.
Ran it.
But are the Bears like a legitimate thing? Is this happening with the Bears where they're going to be like not a great team, but like an okay team?
I did see the celebration in the locker room online post-game.
Yeah.
And Ben Johnson's in a good mood.
Well, yeah, it helps when you come back to beat the Giants and win, I think, your 4th in a row.
He had a lot of energy. Ben Johnson was a good hire for the Chicago Bears.
Sure was.
Gross.
Yeah, I don't like when they make good moves.
When we come back, there are questions, and many of them, if not all of them, are in regard to Wisconsin football. If you missed it over the weekend, the Badgers had a big upset over Washington, number 24, Washington, and they stormed the field. And we're not sure if that should have been what happened or not. And is everything back on track? Gosh, it certainly doesn't feel that way, yet there's progress/hope. We'll hear from Luke Fickell, ask those questions, and we're off and running officially on a Monday. Mondays are crazy. There's just so much recap from the weekend, and Monday Night Football, as if there's not going to have a conversation about that. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Badgers 13, Washington 10, 16, 13, 24, 23. How many yards on offense? There's a lot of questions to this game. What is happening? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's get into it. We have some questions. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. I have questions, so too does Josh, and so too do you. Get your questions in this morning from the weekend. What do you have questions about that you saw scroll across your screen? Our questions revolve around Wisconsin football. And the main one being, so now what?
Yeah.
What's your question, Josh?
Well, this all kind of started with me after they won the game, when the fans stormed the field. My first thought was, is that where we're at? Are we storming? Is that a storm the field moment? Is that?
Yeah. I mean, that was the question that I had too. And I don't understand why people are unsure whether that should be okay or not. So
I'll tell you why.
First things, go ahead.
Because they were ready to blow the whole thing up 72 hours earlier.
What does that have to do with the game?
Listen, I'm not telling anyone how to fan. Okay.
Sounds like
No.
I feel like you're
Trevor,
the only person that tells people how not to fan. But boy, when you want to tell someone to fan,
Trevor, I'm not.
It's okay.
I'm not telling anyone how to fan. I might be questioning how they're fanning. I'm not telling them how to fan. We had a lot of angry people on Friday texting into the show. I mean, a lot of them saying this program is done. We literally played the game. As someone said, would you rather go to your daughter's dance recital than go watch the Badgers get crushed by Washington? All of these things, because we were to that point as fans with this Badgers team, to have that 180. I mean, seriously, the hardest 180 from that to the Badgers won the game, and now we are storming the field, seemed like a lot. It seemed like a lot.
So I don't see the connection between where the program is and a big win in regards to how fans celebrate. There's a lot going on in the Wisconsin football program right now. Admittedly, ask anybody involved. Luke Fickell himself, who we'll hear from in just a second, talked about this, about hope, about the future, about whatever it's going to be, and about storming the field. And this is one of those times where two things can be true at once. It's okay to celebrate a big victory. Now, here's the weird part.
Okay.
The last time Badgers fans stormed the field was when they beat Ohio State 31-18 at Camp Randall.
Yes.
And Ohio State was ranked number 1.
Now, that sure seems to me like a reason to storm the field.
Worthy.
Yeah.
The time before that, ironically, the Badgers beat Ohio State. October 11th, 2003, Ohio State was number 3. What I love
still valid, very valid
about them storming the field this weekend is the timing of it all. The timing was absolutely epic for Badgers fans. There's not much that you can look at here and go, well, what are we going to celebrate really? What is there to celebrate? Not a whole lot. And so for the week that they had to have happened, and the conversations and Chris McIntosh and Luke Fickell, it was a gigantic win for the Wisconsin football program and worthy of storming the field. And it had nothing to do with where they're at. It was very much so in the moment.
Okay. All right. We like to make analogies, comparisons a lot with our sports teams and relationships. So this is a relationship we're in with the Wisconsin Badgers football program. And we were at couples therapy because this thing was bad. I mean, we needed something, right? We come out of therapy, we're not feeling great about how things were, but we got a fun weekend planned. All right, we got a fun weekend planned. We're feeling like things are still going to go crappy because the relationship's been terrible. Not even sure if you're still in it. You had a good weekend with them. It felt like it used to. Mm-hmm. It was fun. This is how our relationship was in the honeymoon stage. Now what? Now everything's fixed. Now the relationship's fixed. Now you're driving home. You're driving home from that fun weekend that you had with your significant other. You telling me that you're not afraid of everything going back to exactly how it was?
No, you're not. Oh my God, that's so pessimistic. Listen to Luke Fickell. This is what optimism sounds like, Josh. When the coach came out after the game and said, I know this isn't the fix, but hang on, there's hope.
There is, a spark, an energy, a hope, a vision. I'm not here to tell you that this is the expectation, to win one game and to expect the people or our fans to rush the field. I mean, there's a greater expectation. That's why I came here. That's why these guys came here. But at times, you've got to know that people have your back. I can't say thank you enough, obviously, not just to Chris, but to Chance Manukin, the board, and everybody that recognizes and understands that, like, not accepting this, but we understand that we got to move forward, but this is how we want to do it.
Bert from the 920 says this really well.
Okay.
He says, this is a classic story of a team that overcomes adversity and beats a ranked opponent. How can you not be excited about that? Josh is sitting here telling everyone how to fan.
No, not doing it.
That's not their perception.
Well,
but at the end of the day, that's okay to celebrate, is the point. It's okay to celebrate this. Celebrate the victory in the moment. Celebrate what was a seemingly catastrophic week for Wisconsin football. And come out and beat a ranked opponent, and by golly, you rushed that field.
And this is why people get this confused. As a realistic fan, I can tell you, if I was a fan, a student at UW, I would have probably been like, hell yeah, let's rush that field.
Of course.
Because you've been through a lot. This is your time. You went to Wisconsin. You've been looking forward to being able to celebrate wins. Then your football program has let you down. So now you have this opportunity where you haven't had anything truly, really to celebrate all season long. Yeah, I'm 100% doing it. I'm just, as I'm watching it, not in that situation, not as a Badger student that has the opportunity to storm the field and feel that rush. I'm going, oh boy, this is quite a 180 from where we all were on Friday. And I stick with that. It really was. And I'm okay with fans flipping. They listen, I'm expecting people to flip right back. If things don't go their way next week. I expect, okay, clearly last week was a fluke. This team still sucks. They got to get rid of it. I mean, I'm expecting fans to go right back if that happens. But this was a harsh 180 to me.
I think it's Happy Gilmore, where Adam Sandler is talking into his like intercom system in his apartment towards, I think it was his girlfriend that laughed. Is it Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison? You know what I'm talking about? Where Adam Sandler is like, fine, leave, do whatever you want.
Happy Gilmore.
And then he comes back,
baby.
I'm sorry,
I didn't mean to do that. I love you so
That's
much.
what it feels like to be a Wisconsin sports fan right
That's
now.
a perfect analogy. That's what I'm saying. The emotions are so out of whack right now for Badger sports fans. I mean, they are crazy ends of the spectrum, just whoosh, whoosh, back and forth. It's a lot. By the way, I'm not mad at people for storming the field. Like I said, if I was there, I probably would have done it too. Our friend Thunder was there. He ended up on the field. Yeah, good. I know. He doesn't even, why not? I don't care.
What is it that bugs you, though? That's what something says that there's something in your craw about it.
Well, my question that I came in with this morning was just for passionate Badgers fans, like, you took advantage of the moment. That's why I said, like, you had a good weekend. You've been fighting a lot. You've ended up in therapy. You've been really worried about the relationship. You had a good weekend. Was that really enough, though? Like, did you 180 truly to where now you're sitting on the side of, okay, McIntosh was right. Luke Fickell 2.0 is here. Let's go, baby. I'm all in. Like, is that, I'm asking, like, is that true? It just seems like a really quick change.
Well, but what you're saying is it's either all or nothing, and I don't think that's the case. I think right now it can be we're in a bad spot, but that was great. We're not exactly high on the football program right now, but after that week to come out with that victory and have the most passing yards come from the punter,
Yeah,
I think that's
which was also. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, wild. And listen, quarterback goes down again, and there was something like 4 quarterbacks that played in the game.
Crazy.
Statistically speaking, I don't care. At the end of the day,
They won.
a big W for the big W, and that's really all we can ask for. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. I have a question from the 414. Am I the only one who thinks Kyle Brandt tries too hard to be cool? This is not about Good Morning Football, right?
Yeah.
I don't watch it. I'm here.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I feel and I feel like that's kind of they push a lot of personalities to be that way. So I don't know. Don't read into that too much.
A lot of people chiming in. Was it Happy Gilmore? Was it Big Daddy? I don't know. But whenever that happened, it was absolutely hilarious to compare that, whether it's Packers fans and Packer fandom, or Wisconsin football, or hell, the Brewers at the end of the season. It all looks and sounds the same to me. And has that not been your experience with being a Wisconsin sports fan? It is feast or famine, and it can all be in the same season.
Well, and then I think that's kind of my point and the way that I was feeling about this, because the Packers have given us plenty of opportunities through the season to go back and forth, right? After those first 2 games, we're going, woohoo! And then Cleveland completely crapped the bed, and we're like, no! And then the tie to Dallas, and we're like, what's happening? And then you're going right. And so there's a lot of that, but it still doesn't seem to me like we were not like everything's done. They got to figure out a new way to. It's not just the head coach. They got to get rid of McIntosh too. I mean, fans were really feeling it on Friday to then Saturday night be like, we're all back. We're all in.
But did you see anybody that said we're all back and we're all in? Because I didn't. I mean,
I saw a ton of people on Twitter. I think even like back, Big baby. Cat was like, retracting. It wasn't a Take Back Tuesday. It was a Saturday night. But a lot of people were already taking back all of their takes, going like, let's go. Beating a ranked opponent no one saw coming. After this announcement comes out, this team's back.
That's the whole point that I have, is that the timing could not have been better. To have the week that they did, and then to come out with a victory like that at home in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
Camp Randall, rush the field.
Yeah, perfect.
Winning.
Yeah. I hope it continues. I really do.
All right, before we get to break, a quick surprise. This is totally personal on my part, but hey, we host the show, so we get to do what we want. It's my youngest son's birthday today, Riker. He is 14.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to Riker. We are surprising him with his gift right now. My wife and I decided that we were going to do this. Riker, we're going to NXT on Friday night. So Friday night, WWE NXT is here in Green Bay. The whole show open with Cody Rhodes and all of that is because of Riker. Riker's not a sports guy. And we love the WWE together. Josh loves the WWE. Yep. There's so much WWE-ness on this show, and that is both fans of Josh and I, obviously, but Riker inspired for sure. So he doesn't give two you-know-whats about the Packer game tonight, but by golly, me and him are going to NXT on Friday night, and I bet you he's absolutely jacked right now at home. Here's the problem. The kid doesn't like sports so much, he's probably not even listening.
Well, congratulations, Riker. Happy birthday.
I asked him.
Your mom told him.
Yeah. Hey, bud, did you listen to the show? I mean, it was on in the background, Dad.
Yeah, I heard womp, 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 womp.
My oldest son's already texting me about what's happening in all of the things in regards to sports this weekend.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Happy birthday to Riker. We're going to NXT on Friday. Oh, by the way, we have front row tickets.
Whoa.
I probably should have kept that part.
Yeah, you should have kept that. It's fine. He's not listening.
Yeah, Amanda will tell him.
Oh, all right.
All right, the most electrifying sound of the day. What's this? It's from the Wisconsin football game?
Unbelievable. Never would have thought. Never would have thought.
Let's go. If you've got more questions, get them in. The Nick Laylaw Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. We are live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Josh and I are inside Wisconsin sports. Stay here. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Time for today's most electrifying sound of the day.
Snap back to Sean West and a fake punt. The throw to Aker makes the catch. 45-50, 45 and down to the 41 of Washington. They've been working on that forever, and they finally say, what the heck? Run it, and Sean West with the completed pass. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And that call by Matt LePay and the Badgers Radio Network is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Never would have thought. Never would have thought.
If Matt LePay could have said, screw it, he would. You know what? Screw it.
Yeah. There were other words in the head at that time.
And that's awesome. So the situation there, 11:45 left in the third quarter, the down in distance, 3rd and 9 from the Wisconsin 36. And there was Sean West, number 91, threw a pass to Jackson Aker, number 34, 24 yards. Here's the problem. They had, 48 passing yards total?
Yeah, something like that.
That's bad when 24 of those yards came from the punter.
Yeah. Yeah, your leading passer in the game was the punter on that play.
It's bad. It's bad.
But they won. Let's storm the field. Let's go. Team's back.
No. I would have loved to have somebody recording you when they storm the field. I picture you as that guy from The Office. No.
Oh, no, I would have literally been like, we're going to do it? All right, fine. Yeah. I would have been totally in. Even now, if I would have been there, I would have been like,
no, I'm saying you watching. Maybe it was Josh, the sports radio guy, instead of Josh, the fan. But I watched that, and literally everything on my body went, good for them. Good for them. And by the way, my phone blew up like Madison's going to burn tonight. Like State Street's going to be on fire.
Yeah, going to be rowdy.
Not necessarily literally on fire, but exciting.
Yeah.
It's okay to celebrate that. I don't know. I didn't even think, honestly, when they rushed the field, I didn't even think twice. I was like, that's great. Celebrate that, especially after the week they had. And that was my point in the last segment. You cannot mix up a better recipe for Wisconsin football, for Chris McIntosh, for Luke Fickell, regardless of the game's scores or play or all of that, to come out of Camp Randall Stadium with a win this weekend, heading to Indiana. Where, let's be real, our the feeling that we have right now, probably a little short-lived.
Is it? That's my point.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Of course. Listen, if it's not, I will eat crow. I will have a crow sandwich in here Monday morning. If they somehow beat Indiana.
How about if they don't beat them, but it's close? What about if they keep it close?
My whole mentality on this, though, is I don't need it to be right now. I don't need it to be perfect. I don't need it to feel like we're back. There's a lot of people. Mike Heller had a great post on Twitter over the weekend. Our old friend Mike Heller.
Yeah.
He said that this whole thing is a system failure for UW. He had a great rant on this. It's not just Luke Fickell.
No.
It's not just Chris McIntosh or the players or the chancellor or the NIL budget. This is a system thing for Wisconsin football. We talked about this last week, Josh. All of a sudden, they found a treasure chest.
Yeah, where?
Like,
where's Waldo? How?
They went on a national they called up Nicolas Cage, and they're like, bro, do you have one of those maps?
We saw the movie. First of all, was that based on real-life events? Second of all, do you have any more?
Yeah. All right, the Nick Laylaw fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. Let's check in with all of you. Happy Gilmore, you were right. Maybe Big Daddy too, somebody said. Josh, Jacob in a van says, someone on TikTok did that with Packers fandom. We mentioned that. Here's one from the 920. It says, surprised nobody is discussing the fact that YouTube TV still hasn't reached an agreement on ESPN/Disney. And that means a good number of folks outside of GB and Milwaukee won't have access to tonight's game. Okay, I have lots to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
I am a YouTube TV customer. I've been wondering for weeks how they were going to come to a resolution prior to tonight's Monday Night Football game in Green Bay. They haven't.
Right.
However, I got an email over the weekend that said, we have great news. We're going to give you $20.
Wow.
What a gesture.
Look at that. So you can go buy an antenna and watch the game.
Wait a minute. Did I order an antenna? I feel like I did. It may have come over the weekend and I didn't notice it. I feel like I ordered an antenna right in the moment last week. Listen, if they don't figure it out by 4 o'clock today,
they're not.
I'm out.
They're not.
Out. Well, they may not.
Do you think they're going to figure it out hours before the game?
Yeah, that can happen. It's a flip of a switch.
Yeah, it's true.
Somebody push a button. One button brings all of this back to normal.
We need Nicolas Cage to sneak in there and push a button.
I love that Pat McAfee is going off about this.
Yeah.
Like the guy is on ESPN. He goes, enough. Somebody figure out how to figure out a multi-billion-dollar deal that they're probably arguing over a few $1,000,000. Sounds like they're in arbitration, doesn't it?
Sure does. They're in couples therapy. I got to say to the 920 though, there are ways you will be able to watch the game. You don't have to sign up for a new service. You just have to have over-the-air broadcast in one way or another.
No, not everywhere.
I thought that was a statewide thing.
My understanding is that only the major markets, Green Bay and Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. I need answers to that then. I thought that was like some legislator put that as law that in the state of Wisconsin you have to have access to be able to watch the Packers.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great call. Let's get the government involved. Let's see if they can figure out how
I'm not kidding. I thought that really was a thing.
Let's figure out how the government can get YouTube TV and Disney back on the same page. Oh, wait. They're not working. And that's it for my political rant on this Monday.
I'm going to look into this.
It's ABC in Green Bay and Milwaukee. They're the ones that carry the games over the air. It'll be Channel 2 here in Green Bay in Northeast Wisconsin and Channel 12. By the way, shout out to my guy, Dario. Dario Melendez rings my phone going into the weekend. He's like, hey, can you jump on Saturday night at 6:30 for the Big 12 Saturday sports show? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I had no idea it was live. Josh, I'm doing my kids' school auction fundraiser thing that I MC every year.
Yeah.
And I go out in the parking lot and set up a phone and do the whole thing. And I put my AirPods in and click the Zoom link that Dario sent. And all of a sudden I hear the producers talking in the background and they're live on the air. And I'm like, oh my God, is this live? Oh yeah, this is live. Okay. Oh, good. Glad I didn't know that. It's kind of like watching a buck walk up to your tree stand. By the way, I had a successful hunt on Friday. We'll tell you more about that later in the show. Meat in the freezer.
I know we have to get out. I looked this up. It's the Go Pack Go Act. It's a bill that was introduced, but it has not yet been passed.
There you go.
So, okay, I was wrong. At this point, people are
only
still
Green
suffering.
Bay and Milwaukee. ABC stations will carry it over the air. Yeah, thus my problem. Granted, we'll see if I have an antenna at home someplace, but I'm switching. Probably DirecTV Stream. I did a little bit of research on this yesterday, not a lot. I'm holding out hope because I really love YouTube TV, and I don't want to switch.
Fair.
The morning mind dump is next. Who's kicking for the Packers tonight?
Me.
I feel it possibly. It depends who you ask. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Get your mind dump ready.
McManus is going to pull this one off to the left, and Green Bay comes away with no points. McManus' struggles continue.
Were those boos?
I
think those are boos.
Is that what those were?
I think so.
I'm sure they got it all figured out now. Don't worry.
Oh, sure. Totally. Everything's fine. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. We're all good. All right, what's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Happy Monday Night Football Day. Let's go. Packers, Eagles tonight, Lambeau Field. Can I see Lambeau from here? Not quite. Just over the trees. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hey.
Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am here in Green Bay at WNFL 99.7 FM. Josh is there in Milwaukee at 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM. The Fan. We are live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network in Wausau on 93.9 The Game and 7:10 a.m. The Game in Duluth Superior as well. The rest of this show, for the most part, is dedicated to the Packers game tonight, which is awesome. It is going to be an exciting football game. Please, God, this is a prayer. Please, okay. God, let this be an exciting football game tonight so that we don't have to do what I hope we don't have to do tomorrow morning. Amen.
Amen.
There's a lot to talk about, though. Oh, God, what is going on with the communication at 1265 Lombardi Avenue, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 5430 something. All right, let's get it off our chest. The morning mind dump. Here we go. Why is picking a kicker so difficult? This blows my friggin' mind. And I'm looking at this and all the conversations about this over the weekend, and I'm going, Josh and I have been talking about this for weeks now on this very program on how something is going on with Matt LaFleur. I'm starting to connect dots that I need your feedback on because I don't get it. So here's how this lays out, okay? Remember in early October when the whole Brandon McManus, Matt LaFleur, right quad, major concern thing came out, right? Yep. Matt said this is a major concern.
Yep.
Then McManus pushes back in saying that LaFleur needs to go get a thesaurus because the encyclopedia he's referring to doesn't describe injuries or something like that. So then Matt comes out and he's like, well, apparently I need a new thesaurus. And then sometime between then and now, he's like, I don't talk to kickers. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's been weird. And also, It'd be a moot point if there weren't missed field goals as well.
Oh, yeah, that's happening. And, a franchise record make 2.
Yeah.
So we got a guy that came in and absolutely killed it kicking for the Packers. Killed it. A 61-yarder. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, for Mr. Havershak, yeah.
And now here we go with McManus again, who clearly does not appear to be completely healthy. So let's talk about it, Matt LaFleur. Last week, we asked him in the media auditorium, who's kicking? And here's what he had to say about practice that day.
What's the plan at kicker, since you still have 2 after the trade deadline? Is it a health thing? Is it best guy at practice wins this week? What are you thinking?
Well, I think every time it's a competitive situation. So, we're going to have both of the guys kick today, and we'll kind of see where Brandon's at in terms of his health and whatnot, and go with who we feel like gives us the best opportunity to go out there and compete and win.
What did you hear him say, Josh?
I heard him say, we don't know who's kicking. We're going to have a competition. It might not be McManus this week.
Clear as a bell, right?
Yep.
Clear. Very, very clear that there was a kicking competition in practice. Okay?
All right. Got it.
So then the coordinators come to the podium a day or so later, and they ask Rich Bisaccia the very same thing. This is Matt Schneidman in the background asking him. He's going to join us, by the way, later in this show. 8:25, Matt Schneidman from The Athletic. He asks Rich Bisaccia, so who's kicking?
Who's kicking for you on Monday?
Who's kicking for us on Monday? Yeah, Brandon.
I asked that kind of.
Brandon McManus. You asked that kind of like a wise ass, but
Well,
I can answer it the same way. So Brandon
The head
McManus.
coach said it was an open competition this week.
Well, then you ask the head coach. But if you're asking me, it's Brandon McManus. I didn't see it as a competition this week. I saw it as he's getting healthier. And he's had a pretty good week kicking the ball.
Couples therapy isn't working.
Yeah, what?
What?
What do you mean? What do you mean you're going to have to ask the head coach? What?
You know what? In marriage and life, if somebody walks up to me in my house and I say, you know what, go ask mom.
Oh,
that doesn't end well.
No.
We should be on the same page. So you'll have to ask the head coach about the kicking kids. I didn't see it was a kicking competition. Well, Matt just told us that there's a kicking competition, right? I mean, that's what you heard. That's why I asked you, Josh.
Yep. Well, I heard it.
Verbatim.
Yep, I heard it.
Okay. Bisaccia was not in the loop. He was unaware there was a kicking competition. Bisaccia's, you know his role, Josh?
I could be wrong. I believe it is like kicking and special teams.
Yeah, he's in charge of them.
Oh, okay.
And there's something assistant head coach in his title. Is it associate head coach? Is it assistant head coach? Is it head coach in training? He's supposed to be attached at the hip with Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
In a year, and I'll say years, when if there is a significant glaring issue in Matt LaFleur's coaching ability, it's special teams. Special teams have never felt put together under Matt LaFleur. Isn't this Rich? Is Bisaccia the third different special teams
I believe
coach?
so.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think he's overstayed his welcome.
Which is nuts because at some point, replacing the special teams coach over and over and not having a different result may have something to do with the head coach. But I digress.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe he didn't mean there was a kicking competition. So we asked Matt again. Rich seems to think there was no competition. What's going on?
Rich seemed to indicate that McManus is the kicker for this week. Is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did that decision come down to?
Well, I think you look at the total body of work. I think you guys probably read into what I said a little bit too much in terms of I feel as though, and this is the way we're always going to approach it, every spot is a competition. So
oh my God.
No, we're not. No, we are not.
You know what that was? that was Dad says, ask mom. Mom gives the answer. You go back to Dad, and Dad backtracks like hell. That's exactly what that was. Well, okay, but if Mom said that, then you know what I was trying to tell you was obviously the same thing. It's your fault. You took it wrong. Get out of here.
You can't make that up. That's
what that was.
Man. Totally.
That's what that was.
That is concerning to me.
How do you not double down? How do you not double down on that? I think it's your guys' fault. You're blaming the media? Oh my God.
It's something, man.
Whoa.
There's something going on. I don't know what it is. I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill here. I'm just suggesting that sequence of events was very uncomfortable to the point where what literally what speechless what was that? Why are they not talking? Matt LaFleur should probably start. If he doesn't talk to kickers, can he at least talk to Rich Bisaccia?
Yeah. Just awful.
I know, but
that's brutal,
have we
man.
Not felt this though, Josh? Like we've felt this way. Our gut has said something's not right for weeks now.
Yeah, but this is different. This is
I think this is proof.
Oh, this is way worse. Like this, people should be concerned about the backtracking from Matt LaFleur. You're the head coach. Your coordinator, your special teams coordinator, just said in his presser, go ask the head coach. That isn't the time for you to say, well, I think you guys weren't really listening to what I was saying. I think you guys took that out of context. No, we took exactly what you said for what you said.
Verbatim.
That's what we did. Now you're telling me, based on what the coordinator said, that we were wrong? No.
The 414 sums this up quite possibly perfect. Guys, it's simple. Matt LaFleur is full of poo. It feels that way. And that's concerning. And so maybe my point on this is all of the problems, all of the inconsistencies in the Packers this year, which, by the way, if there's one thing that we're asking for, Matt, just one thing, might you find a way to be consistent in all three phases of the game?
Consistency is the greatest measurement of performance. So any team can go out there and do it one time, but can you put repeat performances out there? And unfortunately for us, I don't think we've done that. The other thing that I don't think we've done a great job of is just playing a complete game in all three phases. There's been moments of really good stuff, and then there's been moments of really bad stuff. So I think it's, like I said, there's a really good football team in all three phases. It's a great challenge for us. And, hopefully we can go out there and play our best ball.
Josh.
Yeah. Consistency starts with you.
Thank you,
Matt. You start by being consistent in your message, and then I'll look at the team to start being consistent on the field. I don't even know. I understand, right, that the coaching staff, Matt LaFleur, they don't have to give everything away, right? Sometimes I feel like people expect the team in these pressers to be like 100%. Let me just lay it all out for you. I get that, right? A lot of this is playing the media game, right? I get that. But if you're gonna decide on a message to give to the media when asked the question, then that should be your answer. Or if it changes, then you come out and you say, yeah, I know what I told you. Talk to the coaching staff. We weren't on the same page. We are now. This is exactly what we did, what's going to be, and how everyone should expect it to be going forward. After the second one that we played from LaFleur there, where he goes, well, I think you guys maybe took what I said out of context. Now I'm more confused than I was before. You have made me more confused on what to believe in. I still don't really know how McManus is feeling. Is he healthy? Is he just getting healthier? I'm left here now more confused than I was. At least Bisaccia came out and just said, McManus, no competition. McManus. Okay. Thank you.
And you're talking like an ass, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? I can't wait to ask Schneidman.
But at least he came out and he just gave the answers. There wasn't it's every day is a beautiful day to find out who kicks the ball better, if the sun is out or if it's cloudy.
It's definitely not a competition, though.
Right.
No. The 4-on-4. Like I said, Trevor, before I just heard the coach say three phases. No, there are four: offense, defense, special teams, and then coaching. Probably the most important that gets overlooked. There has not been anything consistent from Matt LaFleur in the coaching side of this football.
No.
Let's just use fourth down as an example. I talked to Dario about this on Channel 12 on Saturday. The step up that needs to happen in Kraft's absence, in my opinion, is Matthew Golden. But a lot of people are saying, Matt LaFleur, you need to step up how you're calling the game, the decision-making that you're going to do. How are you helping your Green Bay Packers be consistent in all three phases of the game? The best Josh Albrecht quote so far in the history of Inside Wisconsin Sports was when Matt LaFleur came out and said that watching the final possession at Dallas was like watching a slow motion car wreck, and there was nothing he could do. And Josh goes, and I quote, "You were driving the car."
Right. Right.
Dude, you're driving the consistency mobile.
Get out of the way. Swerve. Try to keep the car on the road.
Or just hit the deer and move on.
No,
Hit the
don't do
deer
that.
and move on. No, don't swerve when you see a deer. That's the whole message.
Oh, really?
Buddy, oh yeah, don't swerve. Bad things happen when you swerve. Just smoke the thing and worry about the rest later.
Oh.
You weren't taught that in
No.
driving school? Yeah.
No, it's taught try to not hit the deer.
Brake. That's the goal. Brake and hold. Don't swerve. Bad things happen when you swerve.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Maybe LaFleur just wants to make the Eagles prepare for 2 kickers. Like, the more you know.
The more you know.
Maybe LaFleur just wants to make the Eagles prepare for 2 kickers. Like other teams won't name their QB.
Not the same. Not the same. If you're the Eagles, you're not spending any time based on who's kicking. You don't care at all. You're trying to stop them from kicking.
Rhino in the 608. This interview is a microcosm of the overall state of the coaching staff right now. Not enough accountability is being taken among Matt LaFleur and his guys. You're right.
Yeah.
This certainly seems like the issue, right? We've talked about this. Dad said don't fight in the preseason. They fought. Dad said keep it together emotionally. They lost it. There just doesn't seem to be the handle that we would expect Dad to have on the situation. And that's scary. Now, here's the crazy part. Let's just hypothetically say that McManus and his first kick don't go well tonight. I'm not saying that that's going to be a thing. I'm just saying do you think they put Haversick in? And will the telling part of this, listen to me, it's coming together in my head right now. This is what in the inside of my head sounds like. Welcome. Yeah. It's something.
Yeah.
Haversick is still on the 53-man roster.
Correct. And
Haversick is not active mostly on game days since he's been on the Packers. If nobody's questioning that McManus is the kicker and there's no competition, according to Rich Bisaccia, and there's apparently Matt LaFleur's words are being taken out of context, then why do we still have 2 kickers on the roster?
It's a good question. That's what I'm saying. And if the media were to ask him that and say, hey, it seems like you've been sticking with McManus, you're kind of all in on McManus, why do you still have Haversick there? I wonder what he'd say. Legitimately.
You know what he'd probably say? You'll have to ask Goody.
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
Everyone keeps passing the buck.
Honestly. What did Goody say when he was on this show? My job is to support Matt and his team.
Yeah.
And his staff and those guys. And then Matt comes out and goes, well, that's a Goody question. Rich says, ask the head coach. Oh, God. Not good. I have questions for Mike Spofford. You may as well. I know Josh does.
Yeah.
Get him in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Joining us next from Packers.com, our guy, Mike Spofford. Let's ask him who's kicking. Maybe he knows.
Yeah, well, it's McManus.
Apparently, he was never questioned.
Yeah. What competition?
Gross. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back, Wisconsin, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Joining us now on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. He's got the lettuce covered up today. It was per conversation in Packers preview with him and Wes Hodkiewicz. Mike Spofford from Packers.com. The question, Mike, was, would you shave your head if it guaranteed a victory on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I'm not into the head shaving thing. I know Wes likes to comment on the lettuce, as you say, but no, not my thing. Sorry.
Well, I wish it wasn't my thing, and Wes is right. Once you shave it, you kind of take for granted if it's going to come back or not. I feel like that's what happened to me. Like, it's only gotten worse. Jeez, look at that. All right, Spoff, happy Monday Night Football in Green Bay, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on the show.
Yeah, you got
it. First things first, who's kicking?
It's going to be Brandon McManus, I believe, unless there was some sort of a strange setback injury-wise in practice.
Did you see what happened, though? Like, did you see the back and forth between LaFleur and Bisaccia and then LaFleur? Like, that felt weird.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I think I don't know if LaFleur kind of misspoke a little bit, or I mean I think it was just a matter of, at the time that LaFleur answered the question, he wasn't going to fully commit to Brandon McManus, not knowing what his health situation was and not seeing him kick in practice for a couple of days. And once that had happened, it was pretty clear they're going to stick with the veteran.
So does that mean that Havershek, because I believe against Carolina, he wasn't available, right?
Right. The last two games, Havershek has actually been a game day inactive. He with McManus back up, Havershek has not been available for the game. Now, would that potentially change where they would make sure that both kickers are available? I don't know. We'll have to see. And again, I think that primarily depends on where McManus is with this quad injury.
You've seen these GIFs, right, with these guys that lean back in their chair and just start eating popcorn. If both kickers are active tonight, I'll be here with a bowl of popcorn, because this is fascinating. Something's happening. Why are there two? The question is, I can't believe it's Monday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles in Green Bay, and the topic of conversation is kicking. No, it shouldn't be this way. So to put this to bed, maybe you can answer this. If the guy, McManus, isn't 100% healthy, and for that reason, we are still carrying a second kicker on the 53-man roster. Pause. We only have two quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. If he's not 100% healthy, which is why we're carrying a second kicker, why is he kicking?
I'll put it this way. I'm not sure. Yes. Is he 100% healthy? Well, he's still listed on the injury report. So the answer to that would be no. But I'll say a couple of things with regard to this. One, we are we do not have any idea what's happened in practice, as far as how McManus has kicked in practice, how Havershek has kicked in practice, how things have looked. So, the coaches, the other players, they're the only ones who know who's performing in practice. The other thing I will say is that maybe with regard to keeping the second kicker on the roster, it's possible that there's just some concern that this injury of McManus's could reoccur or could flare up again or something like that. And even if he has it under control now, and until they really feel they are 100% out of the woods with regard to McManus's quad injury, they aren't going to make a move with the second kicker. So those are, I guess, my perspectives on that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Still don't know if that's what the coaching staff is thinking, but
true. No, don't know. But that's kind of how I look at it.
So let's look at the rest of the injury report and just who else should we be watching for or concerned about coming into tonight's game?
Well, I mean, the big position is wide receiver. Is Matthew Goldman going to be okay with the shoulder injury? He didn't practice either Friday or Saturday. He was listed as did not practice. You have Dontavian Wicks trying to come back from the calf injury, which was an injury that bugged him in training camp the early part of the season. Then it flared up on him again, so he's missed some time again. And obviously with the, this being the first full game without Tucker Kraft at tight end, you want to have as many other weapons available as possible. And the fact that the Packers are a little banged up at receiver here, with some uncertainty with Golden and Wicks is certainly a thing to watch when those inactives are announced 90 minutes before kickoff tonight.
Luke Musgrave is the obvious next man up in the tight end category, but replacing 344 yards of after the catch yardage, of which Tucker Kraft is the leader on the Green Bay Packers. And he can block. He's really good in the blocking. Luke Musgrave, I feel like, is someone that should probably concentrate on blocking. And when we have him run a route, we can be confident he's going to catch it. But there's a lot surrounding Matthew Golden right now. And I talked over the weekend that, in my opinion, the person that's going to benefit the most from Tucker Kraft being out is Matthew Golden. Because A, he can catch, and B, he's fast. And so imagine that we maybe put these screens to bed for a second and just run Matthew Golden across the middle, hit him on a 4 or 5 yard dump pass, and then have him turn on the Jets. Is that plausible?
I think that's I think you're right on there, Trevor, because I feel like you're not going to replace Tucker Kraft's yards after the catch with Luke Musgrave. Musgrave is a down the field guy. They're going to run seam routes with him and try to strike between the safeties, that kind of thing. A yards after the catch guy is Matthew Golden. You're gonna replace Tucker Kraft's yards after the catch with a very different player in that regard. But I do think Golden is that guy. Now, that's been hit or miss so far this year. We've seen Golden take some short passes and turn on the Jets and get upfield. We've also seen him take short passes and try to do a little bit too much and go sideways and maybe a little backwards and not be able to get away, and then giving some yardage away. Those are the growing pains that rookies go through in this league because college defenses don't have as many good players as NFL defenses do.
Is that more on those screens, Mike, though? I mean, like the where you say he catches it and accidentally goes backwards. That's okay. Maybe this is me just saying, can we delete that play, please?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I thought it was an interesting comment that LaFleur made this week because he was asked about the screen passes and how often they've gone to it. And there is a distinction, even though things look the same, as far as the way the plays are called and the way things are in the playbook. There's a difference between that wide receiver screen that is called and one that is what they call a run alert, which is where Jordan Love is at the line of scrimmage and he has essentially the option to hand the ball off if the run look is good, or to spit the ball out sideways for a wide receiver if the run look isn't that good. So sometimes those screens are called. Sometimes they're decisions that are made by the quarterback at the line of scrimmage. The way this has evolved this year, it's become a play that the Packers have obviously run a lot, whichever instance it is that that they run it, but they've run it a lot, and defenses are definitely showing that they're prepared for it.
Mike, you talked a little bit about the fact this being the first game that Tucker Kraft will be out. Luke Musgrave's in. Where do you think his how much he's going to play? I mean, obviously he'll play, but how much production do you think he's going to get tonight? How much are they going to use him in a similar fashion or a different fashion? How much does that change with Musgraves knowing that he's going to get that playing time, but not being Tucker Kraft?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to use him a fair amount. I mean, you look at the game last week, the touchdown drive the Packers finally put together in the fourth quarter. Musgrave had 3 catches for 34 yards on that drive. So I think he's definitely going to be used. Now, matchup wise, how do they feel about the matchup, particularly with Musgrave against the Eagles defense? How do they think the Eagles are going to cover him? Those are questions that are impossible for me to answer. I mean, if they don't feel like they have a good matchup with Musgrave, they're definitely going to look to go elsewhere with the ball. So we just have to see how that unfolds. I mean, are the Eagles going to cover him with Zach Bond or Nakobe Dean or one of the safeties? I don't know. We don't know what the answer to that is going to be. But I do think Musgrave can be a big part of things. And from talking to a lot of the guys in the locker room and whatnot this week, I mean, his teammates believe in him. I mean, and this is a guy. One comment that I thought really stood out this week, at least to me, was Jordan Love actually made a comment about Luke Musgrave's confidence and that he's seen Musgrave's confidence go to another level here now that he's gotten healthy after all these injuries he dealt with his first 2 years in the league. And if Jordan Love senses that his new, tight end one is confident, then I think that's a pretty good signal that the ball could be going his way.
Packers.com, Mike Spofford joins us here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. LaFleur came out and said that consistency in all three phases will be the key. Duh. We saw it in the second half in Pittsburgh. We saw it in week 1 against the Lions. We know they have it in them.
Yep.
Why is it so hard to stay here?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question with this team, right? I mean, I think we all feel this is the most talented team the Packers have had roster-wise in a handful of years, probably since 2021. Certainly the best roster talent-wise the Packers have had since Jordan Love took over at quarterback. But that whole consistency, sort of the setting a certain standard and playing to a certain level on a consistent basis, has been incredibly elusive for this team. I don't know why. That's the great mystery with this bunch. And yes, it's been frustrating because you didn't have to play at all that great a level to beat the Carolina Panthers at Lambeau Field, and they failed. And that was extremely frustrating. And that's that one should have been in the win column. We all know that. But that being said, as they continue to try to build and chase this consistency level, it's halfway through the season. There's still time to find it. I think this Packers team is going to come out and play quite well tonight. What I don't know is putting together a really good game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Is it going to be good enough to beat them? Because this is a really, really good team. I still think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. Based on what they've accomplished so far this season. And it's going to take a heck of an effort to beat these guys. I think the Packers are going to play well. Will it be well enough? Will it be good enough to beat Philadelphia? That's the question.
This is going to come down to a kick, right?
Oh, please.
Well, since you started the conversation about kicker, you've already set it up for it to come down to a field goal, I think.
Yeah.
Mike, I think you took my words out of context. I think you read into it too much.
Here we go.
Crazy. Mike Spofford, Packers.com. We'll see, man. If the Packers show up consistent in all three phases, you said it. This could be a really, really great ball game. Will it be enough? But I'd like to think that Lambeau Field on Monday night in the cold of November with possible flurries in the forecast and already clouds moving in here in Green Bay, I'd like to think that the football gods somewhere are going to bless us with a game that anybody with YouTube TV can't watch. But I digress.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I think I think this game, for me, this game boils down to what happens in the red zone, because the Philadelphia Eagles are the number 1 offense in the league in the red zone, and they're the number 3 defense in the league in the red zone. This is how they win games. When they have a chance to score, they score touchdowns. And when other teams have a chance to score, they force a lot of field goals. That's how the Eagles win. If you can break them of that profile, if you can crack that code somehow and be able to score touchdowns when you have chances and maybe stop them once or twice for field goals, that's how you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
So you're saying there's a chance. We'll watch it tonight. Mike Spofford, Packers.com. We appreciate you jumping on, buddy. Good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you, Trevor.
Thanks,
go
Mike.
Pack, go. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. We're going to break from Packers for just a second in the next segment.
That's quite a gamble.
Brutal. Brutal dad joke. Brutal. Apparently, there's some gambling in Major League Baseball. Oh, good. Great. What could go wrong? Our gratefulness to Mike Spofford for joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back, Wisconsin, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Scheduled to appear at the top of the hour, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrivee.
Yeah, baby.
Here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. But for now, let's break for a second from Packers coverage here on a Monday Night Football Packers home game day and steer towards betting in baseball. What? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shohei Ohtani as under the rug as fast as possible. Nobody got indicted. Nobody got arrested. Everything's fine.
There's a fall guy.
It was all my interpreter who not only speaks my language for you, but also apparently controls my finances, or at least has access to them. But nothing to see. Nothing to see. The NBA says, hold my beer. And people are getting arrested and indicted and going to jail. And that was bad. And now, Josh?
Yeah, now it's the MLB. Now, it was not that long ago when I said, everyone was saying, this is going to be the fall of the NBA. This is just the start. And I went, okay. And then we heard nothing. No new names came out. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, hey, don't look at the NBA. Look over here at the MLB. We let them finish the World Series. But now that baseball is done for the season, here are some other players.
We're back.
Who were, they were fixing the game, sort of, to help some bettors.
They were fixing the pitches.
Yeah.
So apparently the alleged scheme is this. Bettors allegedly paid the pitchers sometimes $5,000 per rigged pitch. They were being told to throw a specific pitch or hit a specific target like a ball in the dirt or below a certain velocity. And the prosecutors say that the scheme helped gamblers win over $400,000. And apparently, allegedly, some of the coordination happened via cell phone during the game.
Incredible.
How do they think they get away with this is my question.
Well, the thing is, who knows how long they have? That's the problem, is that this could have been going on forever. Here's the big difference, though, between the NBA and the MLB. The fact that it's down to per pitch, you can, as a pitcher, you can throw that ball, get your money, and then still focus on striking out the batter. It's not like they're saying, no, you need to walk this guy. I mean, there's still a way, in my mind, if I'm the athlete, to go, oh, I can do this and still make sure my team wins. I can double dip. I can have both. It's a little bit different than what was happening in the NBA with throwing games. You're not necessarily throwing the game just because of one pitch.
Baseball was fun when steroids was involved. I'll say it. I grew up in a time when everybody was juicing. The home runs were ecstatic. The velocity was amazing. Nobody got tired. Pitchers threw more often. Here's proof. Charlie Sheen came out last week and said, you want to know how the Wild thing got his fastball to where it needed to be? The roids.
So I did a bunch of steroids, right? And because I was only throwing like 76 at the time. And I had this trainer. This guy was a running back at BYU, and he knew a guy that could get the steroids. And so we're at Gold's Gym and
pump it on.
Yeah, man. And literally put 10 miles per hour on my freaking fastball. Yeah.
And how long? How much time?
Like 6 weeks.
Holy.
Yeah. 6 weeks. 10 miles an hour on his fastball for the Wild thing.
Man, the steroid era in baseball was something to watch.
The best. It was the best era of baseball ever. And frankly, I kind of want it back.
Oh, well.
I don't care if it was cheating. It was fun. I'd rather have that than all this betting crap. Like guys throwing games or betting on things.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not even throwing the game. Per pitch, a pitch. If you're out there, you're throwing 100 pitches, 90 pitches in a game, and there's 2 or 3 that have to be a ball or a strike for you to get an extra $15,000, $20,000? That seems like a pretty good deal.
On the criminal side, the courts carry decades of potential prison time if convicted. On the baseball side, the conduct likely risks permanent ineligibility under MLB rules. Well, maybe if you're these dudes from Cleveland, this being Emmanuel Chase and Luis Ortiz, Emmanuel Clace and Luis Ortiz, but not for Shohei Ohtani. No.
No, we need his jersey sales.
Yeah, we do. And his dingers in the World Series and all the things that come along with that. By the way, this is interesting. Ortiz was arrested over the weekend on Sunday at Boston Logan Airport. Boston Logan Airport. He's in court today.
Mm-hmm.
Clace?
Yeah?
Nobody knows.
Where you at?
Hey, bro.
I didn't see him. You see him?
He gone.
Where is he?
I don't know.
He's not in the country.
Probably not. Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
It's so fascinating. All right, back to Packers we go. Scheduled to appear with us next, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrivee, joins us at 8:02. We say scheduled to appear because in this business, you can't guarantee that the guests are connected and ready and technology and all the things.
What has Wayne got going on today?
A little bit.
Oh.
Couple, 2-3 things maybe that he's got his hands in. Monday Night Football. Listen, when I asked him to come on the show, and here are some dates and times that work, and his response was, how about Monday at 8 a.m.? I said, you know what? I think that works for us.
Yeah, I'm free. I'm surprised you're free.
Yeah, but hey, if it works for you, it works for us.
Absolutely.
Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, over under on how many Monday night games he's called. Josh, what do you think?
Oh, boy, I have no clue. No clue. What's the line? Can you set a line?
28 for the
over.
Packers. 28 just for the Packers.
Yep, over.
Oh, it's barely over. We'll talk to him about it.
Okay.
According to my research, which is flawed at best, from 1999 to 2024, 31 Packers Monday Night Football games have been called by Larrivee. Tonight's game would be his 32nd Monday Night Football call.
See, I was going to say 35.
We're going to ask him who's kicking. He'll know. Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Packers, joins us next here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
4th and 2, Goff in the shotgun, moves Gibbs to his left, slot right, single receiver wide left, St. Brown motion, snap to Goff, rush on, Goff looking, he's hit, he's sacked, and there is your dagger delivered by Devontae Wyatt.
That voice, this radio airwaves. There, the Packers radio network. Here, now, the voice of the Green Bay Packers on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Joining Josh and I on Inside Wisconsin Sports, an old friend with a new look. Is that a Bucks hat, Wayne? Wayne Larrabee on the Inside Wisconsin Sports.
No, that's Deer Valley ski area in Park City, Utah. Yeah.
Of course. Hi, Wayne. Good to see you, bud.
Skier.
Good to see you, Josh. How you doing?
I'm great. I'll be a lot better with a win tonight.
Won't we all?
Yeah.
All right, Wayne. So according to the research that we did on this end, this is your how many Monday Night Football games for the Packers? Is it number 32 tonight? Do you know?
Boy, I don't have any clue. No.
I think it's 32. I think this is your 32nd Monday Night Football game.
Wow.
For the Green Bay Packers. That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. A lot of Monday night games. We don't like Monday night games, but
why?
We have to play them.
Why don't you like them?
I don't like them because it throws the next week totally out of sorts. You know what I mean? It's a very short week just for prep, and getting to know the Giants and that type of thing. But no, it's good. And it's good to have Monday night games that really mean something. And this is a fork in the road maybe for these two teams at this stage of the game.
So, Wayne, this has been a frustrating year to try to lock in on what this Packers team is. And after the last game against Carolina, I kind of just said the identity of this team is that they're going to play to their competition, which doesn't leave a lot of room for error, especially against a team like Philly. How would you describe the identity of this current Packers team?
Yeah, you know what? They're a little inconsistent, I would say. They've had some good highs. They've had some just like dumbfounding lows, where you go to Cleveland, you're a solid 7.5, 8-point favorite, and you lose. And you've got Carolina coming in, and you're a 12.5-point favorite, and you lose. Those are the moments that really, everybody. But you know what? If you look around the league, almost everyone, except maybe the Colts and the Patriots, have moments like that. And there's just no consistency even this late in the season. If you look at the NFC right now, the two best teams in the NFC are both in the NFC West, okay? The Rams and Seattle. There's nobody in the league playing better than them. The team playing the best in the NFC North is Chicago. I think they've won 4 in a row. Down south, Tampa Bay, the injuries are catching up with them. That was a big game for them yesterday, a big measuring stick game against a New England team that not many people believe in, but has a great record. And New England went in there, handled business. And then you look at the Eagles. The last 2 weeks, they look like the Super Bowl Eagles. But before then, they were up and down and really skitsy as well. So everybody's got these warts on their record, it seems like. Some have a few more than others.
The voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrabee, joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Well, you said the word consistency, and so too did Matt LaFleur in his presser over the weekend, and how he was looking for consistent football in all 3 phases of the game. Yet one could argue one of the most inconsistent things about the Packers this year has been the coaching and maybe the play calling. How do you see that shaking out with the Pack tonight?
Well, you know what? I call plays. I'm not a play caller. That's how I look at that. I think that a lot of times Coach LaFleur, he probably goes with his gut on certain things. And if it works out, he's a genius. If it doesn't, everybody's on him for the next 7 days. It's a tough job. There's no doubt about that, to be the head coach and the play caller on offense, because so much is on your plate. But, that's the case in Green Bay. By the way, became the case yesterday in Detroit. They put up one of their big 500-yard games. So, it's tough, Trevor. I mean, people, if things don't work out, people look at it and say, wow, how could he have made that call? But if things work out, then it's like, oh, wow, these guys are genius. They're well coached. I can tell you this, around the league, people feel like the Packers are a very well-coached team on offense and defense. And that's what the feeling is around the league. And there's, one of the better constructors of plays, a guy who puts plays together, is Matt LaFleur. He's one of the better X's and O's guys in the league. And so sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, because once you send in the play, it's up to the Jimmies and Joes to run it effectively.
So there have been multiple criticisms of Matt LaFleur throughout the season. One of those being the inconsistency, another being just the fan base not knowing what he's going to do. I feel like with Dan Campbell, for example, Wayne, he's going to go for it. He's going to be aggressive. That's kind of the type of coach he is. You said Matt likes to go with his gut. Does that not leave room for inconsistency? And doesn't that affect the players as well?
I suppose it could. But I don't know that it does. I just think Matt LaFleur is one of these coaches who takes into consideration all of the information available to him, the analytics, in other words. And then I think in some situations, not all, but he probably goes with his gut and says, gosh, I know what the analytics say, but we've got to play for this. We've got something we can do to get this first down, to get this. Now, again, I think what you guys are hinting at and talking about is 4th and 8 last week against Carolina. Instead of taking the points, went for it on 4th and 8. And you know what? That's something Matt LaFleur admitted was not the right thing to do as well. Take the points. You got 11 minutes to go in the game. You got the majority of the fourth quarter to go. You're going to get the ball back. And, the closer you are, the better your chance of winning it. But Matt, I think felt like he had a play there and it blew up right away. That's the only problem. And so, it didn't work out and the Packers end up losing to Carolina. And now everybody in your business, in my business too, they're all on Matt LaFleur.
Luke Musgrave was drafted to be who Tucker Kraft became. Now's your opportunity, bud. And yet there's a lot of people saying that he won't be able to replace his yards after the catch, as well as Kraft's blocking ability. If you had to choose one that you want him to fill the void of, which one is it?
Downfield receiver. They need a receiver downfield that can threaten the seam. And I think he can do that. Is he Tucker Kraft? No, he's never was expected to be Tucker Kraft. They drafted Tucker Kraft to do all the things, a complete tight end. They drafted Luke Musgrave to make plays at tight end. So he's going to get his opportunities, you pointed out. I think he'll be up to the task, but don't expect him to be the same player, receiver, and leader that Tucker Kraft is.
Wayne, obviously, Micah Parsons joining the team has been fun from a fan standpoint. From you in the booth and just looking at kind of what this defense has needed for the last couple of years, how exciting have those calls been when you've been able to see Micah Parsons rushing and pressuring the quarterback?
Yeah, exciting stuff because, he made the sack of Jared Goff that basically ended the Lions game on opening day. And then he had the great game at Arizona, but nobody is making it easy on him. And it's been kind of tough to watch him try to wade through the double teams, the chip blocks and everything else. And everyone schemes away from him. Now it's made Rashawn Gary a more productive player in that regard. But that has to continue to evolve. Parsons is doing his part, but the thing I saw in the Carolina game, and I think Philadelphia may do this to an extent tonight, is control the game. If you run the football, control the game, and don't put your passing attack in harm's way. I think they had 24 dropbacks in the Carolina game, did the Panthers. And they ran the football effectively. Well, they've got a better runner here. I mean, Saquon Barkley's, Rico Dowdle's having a tremendous year. Saquon Barkley's 10 times better runner, okay? Eagles' offensive line, much better than the makeshift unit we saw in Green Bay. So, Josh, these are concerning points going into the game tonight for the Packers.
Did you know it was the Packers' fault that the particular quarterback that's going to run all over us potentially tonight came from that game in 2020? Do you remember that game where Carson Wentz got benched?
Yeah, that was in Green Bay. It was a late Sunday afternoon game in Green Bay, one of the featured games, and the Packers were kind of romping. I think it's the last time the Packers beat the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken. Jalen Hurts burst on the scene. Carson Wentz just wasn't doing it, as we've seen in Minnesota earlier this year. But this Jalen Hurts runs the offense well. He's very smart and accurate. And the big thing about him, guys, is, I think you have to play zone in the secondary against him. Why? Because you need eyes on him, because he finds those lanes. It looks like you've got a cage rush him, as Tom Brady would say. In other words, put a cage around him. But if there's a sliver of an opening in that cage, he'll find it and exploit it. And that's the reason why that's the big reason why you've got to play zone in this game. I think the Packers will play two high shell in this game, and I think they will play zone underneath it. Whereas the Eagles, you'll see them tonight play a lot of two safeties deep, a Tampa 2 shell, but they'll play man underneath that. And I would expect the Carter kid, Michael Carter, whom they got from the Jets, to play a role in this game tonight. Jair Alexander's not made the trip.
Yeah, Jair's staying home. That was the storyline for about 30 seconds, and then it went away. Let's talk about the running game and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs has still been Josh Jacobs, but the running game hasn't been as dominant for the Packers. Now with Tucker Kraft out, a lot of people thinking that's going to make it even more difficult. Last week against Carolina, there were people saying they've got to run the ball more. We heard on the TV broadcast them saying why they got to run it more, but then it was, why are they running it? Just keep passing the ball. Where do you see the running game, and how much is it going to be utilized tonight?
Yeah, the running game's been a little spotty, as has the team and the offense in general. Good moments, bad moments. I think they're about to get Jacobs on track. And I agree with you, Josh. It's not been his fault. If you look at the analytics, nobody gets hit quicker behind the line of scrimmage on a running play than Josh Jacobs. He is among the league leaders in yards after contact. The problem is the contact is coming very early. I think one of the better analytics is for an offensive line, how well they're playing, is yards before contact. And if it's 1 to 2 yards before contact, as it was for Saquon Barkley last year, you're going to run for 2,000 yards. But that's on the offensive line. And the offensive line this year has been different. We all know that. And it quite frankly hasn't performed as well as we all thought it would. Now, part of it's injury, part of it is player moving from guard to center. There's a lot of variables that go in there, and they still have a chance to be a very good offensive line, and we see signs of that. But they've got to be healthy, and they've got to play together a little bit more, because that cohesion of the offensive line is everything when it comes to the ground game.
The voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrivee, joins us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Wayne, your cohort on the Larrivee and LePay podcast is feeling better today than he most likely was before the game this past weekend. What's it going to feel like for us tomorrow morning? Meaning, what needs to happen tonight for Packers fans to go, okay, all right, we're good? Because I don't know if it's just a win.
I think a win is the biggest thing. Last week, John Kuhn asked me, well, what are we going to learn from the Carolina game? And I said, we're going to learn nothing. Whether they win or lose, we'll learn nothing, okay? The measuring stick, the fork in the road, is Philadelphia. Win or lose against Carolina, Philadelphia is the fork in the road. I hate to say this, football people hate to say this, because you know what? Even if they lose and lose bad to Philadelphia tonight, you know what? You still got what, another 8 games left?
Mm-hmm.
Really? So it's not the end of the season for those players and coaches, I can guarantee you that. But it's a big moment in the NFC race. Are the Packers legitimate contenders? If they are, they win this game. They find a way to win this game against a Philadelphia team that most people around the league rank ahead of them in the NFC. I mean, if you stack the NFC this morning, guys, would you have a problem with this? Rams, Seahawks, Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions, those are the top 4 teams, and then maybe the Green Bay Packers at that point. And all of them, this will all change as the season goes along. But that's where these teams are right now, and that's how they're playing. Oh, and by the way, you think this is, you really want to bet on this? You really want to invest money in this gambling stuff and these games? Look what Carolina's done in the last 3 weeks. They got boat raced by Buffalo 49-7 at home. Come to Green Bay and win 16-13. Go home and face the worst team in the NFC, the New Orleans Saints, and get hammered by them at home. So, this is crazy. It's week to week. And if people think the Packers team that played against Carolina is going to be the team that takes the field tonight, I got some news for you. That's not going to be the case. I think they're going to play a lot better. And I think, as my partner Larry McCarron says, redemption is a great motivator. You lose at home to that Carolina team the way they did, yeah, you're seeking redemption.
Wayne, what is the key factor in that redemption game for them tonight if it goes that way? What's the thing that we are talking about tomorrow going, that was the key reason why they turned this around and played better?
I think they've got to establish the running game early. Won't be easy, but they have to. Philadelphia has struggled in that area defensively. And then I think really you've got to take your spots and pick your spots downfield in the passing game. Philadelphia's had trouble on the corner opposite of Quinyon Mitchell. They've had a lot of trouble at corner. That's why they brought in Michael Carter. That's why they traded for Jair Alexander. I have no idea why they did that. And I'm sure Howie Roseman right now is scratching his head as well. If not Howie, then their general manager, then the coaching staff is probably scratching their head. But they have really struggled at that position. Cooper DeJean has turned into a star. He is a star. And, we were – those of us who were covering that draft 2 years ago, we were all over Cooper DeJean for 3/4 of the first round of the draft. The Packers didn't take him, and the Eagles got him somehow in the second round. He's a star. And he'll play in the slot, but he's playing more outside now out of necessity. So I think you'll see Carter in the slot. You'll see Cooper DeJean outside making plays, and that's what he does. And, Quinyon Mitchell is becoming one of the better young cornerbacks in the league. But the Packers have to pick their spots, and I think they've got to control the clock against this team. You don't want to be fooling with this Philadelphia offense because Barkley is cranking it up, and those two outside receivers, I would dare say when they're right, and it's A.J. Brown is not always right, but when he is, they're as good as the Cincinnati duo, maybe better.
You got your hand warmers ready, man? It's going to be chilly tonight.
Is it? But I'm disappointed no snow. Chicago got snow. It looked great yesterday. Boy, they're playing well. I mean, they're here they are.
Yeah, I don't like that, Wayne. I don't like that.
I don't either. But here they are slugging it out and trailing most of the game against a bad team. And they do what good teams do. They found a way to win. And, I expected the Carolina game to go exactly the way it did last week, guys, except I expected the Packers to be the team that found the way to win. Unfortunately, Carolina popped a 19-yard run late, set up a field goal to win the game. It's the way it goes in the NFL. There were perplexing losses by the Packers in 2010 about this time of year, and we all kind of wrote them off, but they were able to put it together. And I think regardless of what happens tonight, there is still much of this season to go. But I think if you are wondering where the Packers are at midseason, this game tells you everything you need to know.
The voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrivee, on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Wayne, have a great 30-second Monday Night Football call for the Packers tonight. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody's keeping track of that.
Yeah,
These late nights are getting to me.
See you, buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
have a good one, guys.
Wayne Larrivee joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. 2 guests down and 1 to go. Our guy, Matt Schneidman, joins us next on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Stay here.
McManus is going to pull this one off to the left, and Green Bay comes away with no points. McManus' struggles continue.
But he's kicking tonight. At least that's what we've been told. Brandon McManus, the kicker tonight. Welcome back. What's up, Wisconsin? Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Joining us on that hotline, powered by Gruber Law, one call, that's all. Our guy from The Athletic and the Tundra podcast, Matt Schneidman. So, Matt, real quick, first off, thanks for being here.
Oh, I thought you had a question to go along with that.
Oh, he still has this attitude that he brought with Bisaccia. He's still got this attitude.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's my question. Josh, play it.
Who's kicking for you on Monday?
Who's kicking for us on Monday?
Yeah,
Brandon.
I asked that kind of.
Brandon McManus. You asked that kind of like a wise ass, but I can answer it the same way. So Brandon
The head
McManus.
coach said it was an open competition this
Well,
week.
then you ask the head coach. But if you're asking me, it's Brandon McManus. I didn't see it as a competition this week. I saw it as he's getting healthier and he's had a pretty good week kicking the ball.
Schneid, you being a wise ass? What was that?
Well, I explained in the question why I wasn't being a wise ass. I asked that question semi-facetiously because I didn't anticipate him giving me a straight-up answer of who was going to kick. That is what I was going to say. That is why I asked it kind of sarcastically, because I thought he was going to say it is a competition. I was not asking it sarcastically in the sense that, oh, of course it's Brandon McManus, but I'm going to make a joke because he's missed 3 kicks and make a joke about how you should move on from him because fans want him to. That's not what I was doing. I guess Bisaccia was not told or didn't care that earlier that week or earlier in the week, I think it was on Thursday, Matt LaFleur characterized the state of his kicker position as a competitive situation. So us on the beat took that to mean that it was a competition for more reasons than just health.
Well,
which
why
was
would you
a little
think that?
surprising because sure, Brandon McManus has had some misses. He's dealing with an injury right now, but he's been in the league, 12 years. He's been nails for this team more often than not. So I thought they were going to go with McManus anyway. So my intention was not to come across as a wise ass because of McManus's misses. It was more so to come across as a wise ass because I didn't expect Bisaccia to give us an answer about who was going to kick. And I was wisely trying to get one out of him, but it kind of led to him giving us that answer. And then LaFleur coming back the next day and saying, you guys read too much into my competitive situation comment. It's a competitive situation at every position every week. So listen, my wise assness got some answers for the people.
That's my real question, by the way. Who's talking to who? What was that? Josh and I talked about this earlier in the show, and we literally played this sequence of audio events of Matt saying they're both going to kick today, which to me and Josh was clear as a bell. We're not sure who's kicking. Then you have this interaction with Bisaccia, who is dumbfounded. You asked it. And then Matt comes in and is like, wait a minute. Right? Yeah. I don't think so. What's going on?
I compared it to a dad that mom gave a different answer, and now dad is immediately backtracking and blaming the kid and being like, well, why would you assume that my answer meant that? Obviously, I meant whatever your mother said. Like that's what Matt LaFleur's response felt like.
Yeah, I think there might be some disconnect, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Matt LaFleur never talks to Rich Bisaccia or Matt LaFleur, doesn't talk to kickers. I know McAfee the other day, for example, was giving LaFleur a hard time and kind of bashing him for saying he doesn't talk to kickers. I think LaFleur said that facetiously. I'm pretty sure my Matt LaFleur detector is accurate after 7 years of sitting in these press conferences. I'm pretty sure he talks to kickers. He's just been kind of jabbing at McManus a little bit in these press conferences since the comment that he was very concerned or whatever phrase he used about the quad injury initially. And then McManus said, well, that's the word that coach had in his thesaurus. So there's been kind of this serious, not serious kind of banter about this whole situation. But this is the second time, I think a couple of weeks ago, LaFleur called special teams mistakes or certain special teams mistakes catastrophes. He was probably referencing the blocks or whatever. And Bisaccia said, I don't view it as catastrophe. So he kind of went back at LaFleur. I can't sit here and say there's any dissension between the two or a disconnect, but it is kind of interesting how they're now a second time is still like, all right, head coach says one thing, special teams coordinator says another, head coach then comes back and kind of takes it back, but not 100%, although this time it kind of was 100%, but nonetheless, Brandon McManus is kicking tonight.
There you go. We got our answer. That's what's most important. So, Matt, we just got done talking with Wayne Larrivee. We're talking about tonight's game and kind of what the Packers have to do differently. Obviously, a lot of things in comparison to the Panthers game. But this is still, regardless of that, a tough matchup against the Eagles. What's going to be the big factor for the Packers that we're talking about tomorrow morning, saying this was the key to the game?
Ooh, so is this a prediction on what's going to happen or what they need to do to win?
What they need to do.
They have to either win the turnover battle or keep it even, because entering week 10, the Eagles had the fewest turnovers in the NFL with 3. The Packers were tied for second fewest with 5. The Packers need to turn over Jalen Hurts. You remember the playoff game last year, obviously.
Right.
I think Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions and the Packers lost the opening kickoff. So they lost the turnover battle by 4, only lost that game by 12. If they can keep the turnover battle even or win it, and this is not some ridiculous scientific equation, most teams, I don't know the exact stat, who win the turnover battle will win an NFL game or at least keep it close. The Packers need to do that. They haven't taken the ball away well this year. They might still be tied for 31st or 31st alone in takeaways this year. They do have 3 in the last 3 games. They've gotten close on some others, as Jeff Hafley explained this week. But keeping that battle even or winning it tonight would go a long way in winning this game. And there's a crap ton at stake tonight.
And now what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? Look, when you see that the Packers are 1.5 point favorites or 1 point favorites, or they were 2.5 to start the week. I don't know what they are now. I don't know what sportsbook sponsors this show. I know what sportsbook sponsors my podcast, so I can plug them. But at Pato, I think they're still 2.5.
Yeah, Potawatomi, yeah.
That to me says, all right, not that the books know something, but that the Packers are going to win, because it's a trap game for people to bet the Eagles, because it's the obvious pick to bet the Eagles, and the Packers are going to cover because it seems like a trap line. But I'm still going to pick the Eagles 27-24. I just think the way the Packers have been playing since those first 2 games of the season, and looking back on the Commanders, you can really say just since the first game of the season, we haven't seen a complete effort like that from Green Bay. Second half against the Steelers was great, but it just seems this Packers team has too much going wrong for them right now, and the Eagles have too much going right for them, for the Packers to win this game. I think they keep it close, but I think they lose.
27-24 Packers is what I picked, because of course it's going to come down to a kick. Because duh.
And they're going to make it? You're saying they're going to make it?
Yes, to win the game. Now, who's going to kick it? I'm not sure. That's the whole weird part about this kicking controversy, because they say McManus, and that they responded to you like that was such a duh question. Yet for the first time ever, we have 2 kickers on the 53-man roster. So holding on to him is just weird to me. That's why I think it's going to come down to a kick.
Well, if it's a kick, it's going to be McManus, because they're not going to use 2 game day roster spots on kickers. So
you wouldn't think.
I would. Trevor, if the Packers have 2 kickers active tonight,
yeah,
I will buy both of you a meal ahead of my next appearance on this show.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
He's never going to come back.
Yeah, probably. I've never
There's
been more
no
excited
way
for
the
2
Packers
kickers.
have 2 kickers active tonight.
Yeah,
unless something happens with an injury or something like that. So, all right, 27-24. You got the Eagles. I'll take the Pack. We haven't gotten Josh's prediction quite yet. And yet Matt LaFleur says that this is about consistency in all 3 phases of football, yet we've only seen that, maybe 1.5 times from the Packers this year. So what do they have to do? And I'll say it this way, both in the game and on the sidelines, to actually have a game where there's consistency in all 3 phases.
Yeah, I think in the game, the key tonight is going to be getting that running game going. And Tucker Kraft, who obviously won't play tonight, said a couple weeks ago, I think it was after I forget which game it was after, maybe after the Bengals game. He's like, everything we do is built off our run game. Play action, the run game itself, more stuff in the pass game. The Packers haven't really gotten the run game going consistently this year, whether it's because of, situational stuff where they have to pass the ball, or because the run blocking up front for Josh Jacobs hasn't been good enough. I would tend to lean the latter. So if they can get the run game going early, that would probably open some more stuff up. They just really haven't been able to do that consistently. On the sideline, that's a good question. I think I know what you're getting at here, but the situation.
Want me to be clear?
What was that?
I'll be clear. Let me be clear.
Okay.
If in case you don't need to guess, Matt LaFleur has not been consistent in his head coaching role this season. His play calling has been inconsistent. His decision making has been inconsistent. I'm not saying he's the problem, but I am saying he's been inconsistent. And so for him to want 3 phases of football consistent from his team, how do we expect that from him?
Yeah, I think he has to be better. Absolutely. It's
so does he.
It's harder to place blame on coaching than players, because it's easy to look at a play and say, oh, Jordan Love should have done that better. So-and-so should have done that better. We don't know exactly what's going in the head coach's mind with regards to why they called a certain play at a certain time and what were the other options. So I know the pitchforks are out for Matt LaFleur, and I'm not telling people like, oh, he's blameless, because he certainly deserves blame. I think they certainly do need better from LaFleur. But what's the Packers' strength this year? Is Jordan Love throwing the ball. I'm not saying the Packers should completely shift their identity, but let the kid sling the rock, honestly. Let the kid throw the ball. And then if they do, the onus is on Jordan Love to be patient, because after last week's game, we heard Matt LaFleur say, you can't force the big play. You can't chase the big play when teams are playing this too high shell and forcing you to take stuff underneath. You have to be patient, take the check down, run the ball well, take what's given to you. Because what the Panthers wanted Jordan Love to do was get impatient, take a shot deep, and kind of trick him into making a mistake, which is what they did in a one-score game. Vic Fangio, known for playing that same kind of defense, I guarantee you they're going to try to employ the same strategy against Jordan Love, and it's important for him to stay patient and not get eager to make that big play and throw one into double coverage for Christian Watson just because he wants to. So it's on Matt LaFleur to, I think, put the ball more in his quarterback's hands, because the run game hasn't been working as well as they've liked throughout the entirety of this season. And then it also falls on the quarterback to kind of execute what the Eagles are giving him.
It seems too early, Schneid, for this to be a game that is, quote, do or die.
No, it's not. Yeah.
This feels also mightily important if we don't show up well. Is that a fan thing, or is that actually something that we should spend some time on talking?
I think it's both. I think from a narrative perspective, this game is massive, because if they lose, there might be a section of fans outside LaFleur's house. After back-to-back losses for the first time this season to the Panthers and the Eagles, and a chance to really reassert yourself as a contender, to fall flat on that, coming off last week, noise is going to be loud outside the building about Matt LaFleur and his future. Literally, it would be a fall from first to third place in the division, behind the Lions and the Bears. It would be a fall from what would be second place in the conference if they win to 7th if they lose, and only percentage points above the 49ers for 8th. So that this is a real tight conference right now, and that's why I say both, because this game means a lot in the standings. It would push the Packers above the Eagles. It would give the Packers wins against 2 of the 3 best teams in the conference and the NFL, the Lions and the Eagles, and that matters come playoff time. And it would matter in the division too, even though it's not a division opponent. Narrative-wise, it might matter more. Not that that matters to anyone inside the building, but if they win tonight, I always think of it, and this is the last thing I'll say on this, I always think of it as which outcome is better for my story. I don't write, as everyone knows, I don't root for outcomes because I'm a fan. I'm not. I look at which outcomes might be better for my story. I think both outcomes would be terrific for readership tonight. Either they win and reassert themselves as a contender, and everyone's happy and everyone wants to read the story because they're feeling good, or they lose and the pitchforks are out for LaFleur and the comments section is filled like they were last week. So it doesn't really matter to me what happens tonight.
Yeah, first story, Matt. Let's run the first story, please.
Yeah.
Matt, we'll leave you with this. Bob in Minneapolis has a message. He says, reminder, the Packers under Mike Sherman had 2 punters. So it would not shock him if there were 2 place kickers active tonight based on all of the chatter. I'm just saying.
It would shock me. I appreciate that, though, Bob.
There ain't no way.
Well,
I'm
it's
with
going
you.
to feed me. It'll feed me if it's right. Matt Schneidman from The Athletic and the Tundra podcast. By the way, how is Ty Schmidt? Totally jealous of that.
He's great.
He seems like a great dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I'm best friends with Ty, but we've been in touch for a couple years now because he's a Yankee fan. I'm a Yankee fan. He's whoever texts me whenever I go on that show. But yeah, he was great.
It was fun. The Tundra podcast, Matt Schneidman, John Kuhn. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Matt Schneidman from The Athletic. Thanks for jumping on, bud.
Thanks, guys.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. I think Josh is going to give a prediction in the next segment.
You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
We're going to find out. All right. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We will wrap it up and say, what's up, Wisconsin? Coming up next on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Hey, it's Josh Albrecht here from my friends at Henry Flock Steakhouse in West Dallas. Henry Flock's is always introducing new items like their calamari, seasoned perfectly and served with house-made vodka sauce. Speaking of that vodka sauce, you got to try the shrimp and scallop pasta topped with Parmesan. It is so good. And don't forget about their incredible drinks like the Ruby Slipper or your classic Supper Club favorites like a Pink Squirrel or Orange Dreamsicle ice cream drink. Whether it's an exceptional steak or something different, there's always an amazing meal waiting for you at Henry Flock Steakhouse. It's so much more than just a steak place.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started. What's up, Wisconsin? The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, the question might be this easy. Where are you watching the game tonight? Who's going to the game? Are you going to the bars? Are you watching from home?
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch with a group of friends, or do you watch this game by yourself because, for the love of God, shut up, I need to pay attention? What say you, Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, where are you watching the game?
Yeah, tonight? I'm going to either be in an airport or on a plane. That's where I'm going to be watching this game. It's good either way. It's going to be very difficult to. I'm not going to be able to pace. I'm not going to be able to freak out as much as I would when I'm watching the game at home.
Oh, you think that's going to hold you back?
Well, if I'm on the plane, I can't be screaming on the plane.
Oh, real? Based on me partaking sports with you, I don't think you have the ability to turn it off.
You know what? You might be right. I don't know. It's gonna be rough. I would really like it if the Packers just came out hot and heavy to start the game, get a huge lead.
If your flight, so Josh is heading out for a week at Disney, leaving tonight. He'll be back next week, Tuesday. If that plane makes an emergency landing, it's your fault.
That's correct. Yeah, it will be because of me.
Yeah. This plane was diverted to Atlanta on its way to Orlando because a Packers fan was losing his ever-living mind and frankly scared the whole plane. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
that sounds accurate.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful. All right. I will be watching this game at home. How? Not sure.
Antenna.
I'll see if we have an antenna. I don't remember if I ordered one or not. I am for sure today, unless something changes between now and kickoff tonight, we'll be pausing my YouTube TV subscription and going to DirecTV Stream or whatever the case may be. This is so stupid. So over it. God. It's so dumb.
It is so frustrating, man. I get it.
The 262 making a huge batch of chicken stir fry for the game tonight, and they're going to eat it all week as well.
Love that.
Side note, how many days is too many days of food in the fridge for you to eat? That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think it's a week.
Oh, that's way too much for me.
What? You won't eat it a week old?
No.
Oh.
I'm very weird and picky about leftovers. You got like 48 hours.
Oh, dude.
I know.
Waste of food. I hope you eat them all.
But that's the plan. Like literally, it's if we have leftovers, it's all right. Now I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
We'll be watching the game at Lambeau from the 262, despite the dumb scheduling, giving the gold package a Monday and a Thursday game as there are only two this year. Well, gold package. What games did you have last year? Do you recall?
Yeah.
It was all of the division games.
It's true.
You cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Man,
the 262 in the club, aka my basement. Two TVs.
Okay.
Bucks and Packers. Eric in Racine.
The 612 says, I have a Monday night bowling league, so I'm stuck watching it in between bowling. It's the worst way to watch. I hate when Packers play Monday. That's Matt in Minneapolis. I don't mind it. I don't mind watching the game at bowling because then, if I'm frustrated, I'm taking it out on the pins.
This is going to be a late night and a very early morning. Please, God, let the Packers win tonight because no sleep, Trevor, to host a Tuesday morning show with you out of town and a Packers loss.
Yeah.
Please no.
Well, so for one, I'm going to call in tomorrow. I'm going to make the best effort to call in, give my reaction to the game at some point. Also, you asked for my score before we get out here.
Yes.
I'm going 30-27 Eagles. I think you and Matt Schneiman are both right. I think that McManus makes a field goal and everyone goes, let's go, with like 40 seconds left. And then they're not paying attention enough, and the Eagles have a huge play that set up another field goal, and then the Eagles end up winning the game, and then we'll all be disappointed.
That makes me hurt.
Hope I'm wrong. Really hope I'm wrong.
Horrendous. That would be, you would wish that upon me.
I did. No, I said I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too.
Yeah.
40 seconds. Can you imagine the Packers going up by a field goal with 40 seconds left and losing that game? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Not good.
The 414 to end today's show, going to enjoy some Booyah, the best chicken soup on the planet.
There you go.
Thank you, Belgium. I think it came from Belgium. I think it's Belgian.
Okay.
Booyah. Booyah. Have you ever had the Booyah?
I don't think so.
Do you know what the Booyah is?
No.
It is I call it glorified chicken soup.
Okay.
But it is a very popular thing here in Northeast Wisconsin. There will be Booyah in the Lambeau Field parking lot tonight. 100% chance. 100% chance. All right. Well, we covered it. We'll see how it goes. We've done our work. We've spent the last week telling you it's coming. It will be here before we know it today. The Eagles at the Packers. Lambeau Field, Monday Night Football. The ESPN trucks are aplenty in the Lambeau Field parking lot. We love driving through there and seeing all that. We do not take for granted that G is in our backyard here in Northeast Wisconsin. Please, for the love of God, can we have 4 complete phases of offense, defense, special teams, and coaching
from this Packers team? Let's go.
We'll tell you all about it tomorrow morning inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Because we are not done yet.